India is the world's second most populous country with more than 1.3 billion people and is the birthplace of four major world religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. It is also home to more than 180 million Muslims. Only Indonesia and Pakistan have more. More than 70 years after India became free from colonial rule, Indians generally feel their country has lived up to one of its post-independence ideals: a society where followers of many religions can live and practice freely. Indians see religious tolerance as a central part of who they are as a nation. Across the major religious groups, most people say it is very important to respect all religions to be truly Indian. And tolerance is a religious as well as civic value. Indians are believed to be united in the view that respecting other religions is a very important part of what it means to be a member of their own religious community. And yet, the reality is far more different. Every now and then we witness several issues erupting just because someone said something bad about someone else's faith, which leads to religious debates on television, communal clashes, and the episodes of violence continue in parts of the country. If you Google the list of riots in India from pre-independence to post-independence, there are maximum clashes on religious issues, turning it into Hindu and Muslim agenda. For example, look at these recent events in India that were mostly religion-based: Hijab Row, Gyanvapi mosque case, communal crashes, Delhi's Jahangirpur violence, riots on Kashmir files, and violence due to a derogatory social media post. The recent BJP's ex-spokesperson nupursharma Naveen Jindal incident has highlighted that a 30-minute debate show on various television news channels and also social media can harm our society. This time it's the country that is affecting our own country. The show was aired in May, and that raises a question: why no action was taken against the channel authorities who allowed the impunged discussion to take place, and also on the two leaders back then? It is only now the BJP reacted after several countries in West Asia, including Qatar, expressed their sense of shock and condemned it. It is now when these Arab countries are forced by their citizens to boycott Indian goods, and when India's top industries like Reliance, Adani Group, Patanjali are facing the repercussions of the controversy. Well, it began from a debate show. But not just this time, but it is often seen that these television channels' discussions are always loud, provocative, and end up in an explosive manner. Evening discussions are held to enlighten the viewers about breaking events so that they get a fair idea of various aspects of the subject concerned. For these shows, political leaders representing a wide spectrum of political opinion and experts are invited to give their opinion, which are supposedly moderated by an anchor person. In reality, many of the participants see the discussions as an opportunity to score brownie points over their rivals, and they often use the power of their vocal cords to serve the purpose. More often than not, the viewers are left wondering what new knowledge they gained by watching the program. The anchor's person, who are supposed to moderate the discussions, use the power of the mic to dominate the discussions and veer them to a set direction in order to improve the TRP ratings to prove how successful they are. Well, it is not surprising then that this has prompted many news TV channels to focus more on controversial and politically and ideologically divisive issues to attract more and more eyeballs. Had the anchor person been more vigilant and sensible, the controversy that created a bad image for the country could have been averted. There would also have been no need for the government to do the kind of firefighting that it has been doing. It was only a few weeks ago that the Information and Broadcasting Minister warned television channels about the need to exercise caution while discussing the Ukraine war and giving headlines. You might have noticed that these debates or experts participating in them are mostly from the political backgrounds and religious gurus that come and clear their stand on whatever the debate is going on. So if we look into the current situation of the country, what could have been more important to discuss on such platforms, on such popular news channels? Corruption, literacy, education system, economic crisis, unemployment, climate change, and most important, women's safety. But did these news channels raise these issues? No. The job of the media is to give a voice to the public, to raise a voice for the public and help it to reach the government, but not to raise their voice for the government and brainwash the public. This is the reality of today's media. There are hundreds of television channels in the country, not to mention the thousands that operate with equipment as minimal as a high-end smartphone. Incidentally, the comment that Nupursharma made about the Prophet reached a wider audience only when the video clip was shared with provocative comments on social media, forcing the channel to delete it. It is this kind of encouragement that prompts many a party leader to look for shriveling in every mosque, to give religious angle to not so necessary issues. For example, hijab rule. Not to forget that even producers and directors have to think 1,000 times before giving a title to their film. Well, Nupur Sharma's remark was just an add-on to the series of hatred that erupts from time to time in India with the title of hurting religious sentiments. The big question is, when will this hatred towards each other's faith, belief and religion stop? How will this so-called media stop being a medium of spreading hatred? The government needs to understand that just by suspending two of its leaders who are on other countries' radar will not stop the hatred, religious riots that take place within our country. It is also up to us, the people of India, to take a step back and stop fighting, hurting our own people with these riots, and most importantly, to stop being swayed by such media, social media and what these politicians say. Because at the end of the day, it is we who suffer.